Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to tackle another question that I've been getting asked quite a lot lately, and I probably wouldn't have addressed it, but people are still asking my opinion on it, so I figured let's talk about it, and that's Nintendo Switch 2's game key cards. What are my thoughts on them? Are they all good? Like, are they all bad? Is there anything redeemable about these dreaded gaming key cards, and what do I think the future is going to be like on these things, and well, first of all, I want to start off by saying that I so far do not own a keycard game for the Switch 2. It's not that I'm particularly completely against owning them. It's just that none of the games have completely interested me as of yet. And I think one of the most important things to remember here is one of the things that excited me the most about Switch 2 was the improved performance. In other words, games loading faster. And there's a key component here, no pun intended, with the game key cards where if you buy, and I Googled this to make sure, this could be wrong, but according to Google, this is true. Uh, the gaming key cards do load slower than just the digital game itself that gets installed to the micro SD card. So when you put the gaming key card in, it is loading games slower as you're playing them. So if you're playing a game that has a lot of loading in it, it will be slower on a gaming key card. So that is a big factor when it comes to considering getting a gaming keycard version or getting it digitally. And for me, I do value faster loading times. I do occasionally speedrun games. So especially if I'm picking up a game where I feel like I may speedrun it, I may actually just get the digital version because the loading times will make a big difference. But it's not all doom and gloom on these keycards. I think the one redeeming factor, and it's not a idea unique to me, this is an idea that I think a lot of people share about one of the best positives of the gaming keycards is think of it as, and this may help some of you that are sort of on the fence about picking up one of these things. It essentially gives you digital ownership of a digital game, but it gives you the ability to sell it and physically ship it to other people. So one of the worst things about digital games is, and I've bought a lot of digital games over the years, one of the worst feelings is buying a digital game on day one, paying full price for it, finding out that it maybe isn't really for you, but you're stuck with it. There's nothing you can do. You can't resell it. You can't get rid of it. You can't trade it to a friend. It's just it's just there. You can't do anything about it. Whereas with the gaming key cards, even though it is technically a digital game that you are installing on your console, and then the gaming key card, what it does is it unlocks the game to give you the ability to play that digital game. That key card is ownership of the game, so you can sell it on eBay. You can trade it to a friend. You can trade it in the GameStop, whatever you want to do with it. It is still a digital game, but you can actually get rid of it and sell it. And I think that is by far, I don't think people give it enough credit for that. Um, at the end of the day, would we absolutely prefer these games to be on a normal game cart that has the game on the cart? Yes, but obviously that's not happening. So we have to kind of deal with these gaming key cards. And that is the one positive thing that I can't think of any downside to. Who wouldn't want to be able to sell and trade their digital game? One of the downsides is what happens in 10, 15, 20 years when inevitably Switch games, just like what happened with the Wii and the Wii U and the 3DS, what happens when you are no longer able to connect online and you put a gaming key card in and it says in order to play this you got to download it and download the latest patch, but you can't do that anymore. Your gaming key card games essentially are dead. It's not the same if you owned a digital version of a game because, well, the digital version will be installed on your console as long as you're able to kind of maintain that game over the years. But the key card games, as I understand, I could be wrong on this, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, if you just pick up a gaming keycard game a couple decades from now, maybe not even that long, and you can no longer connect to Nintendo Online, what happens? You just have a dead game, I guess. So, from what I understand, I haven't really kept up with the drama and the news on these things, but from what I understand, the main issue with why these things even exist in the first place, when a lot of publishers would prefer to put it on a normal game cart, is that Nintendo only offers one size of a Switch 2 cart, and most games don't need that much space. So instead of opting for that more expensive cart where their games would cost more, they just go with a game key card so then they can kind of control the price of their game a bit more fairly. So I think we need to put a bit more pressure on Nintendo to make different size carts available to developers and publishers. If you have a game that doesn't really necessarily need a super expensive large card, that would be a normal game card, make something smaller available for them. I'm not really sure what the trouble is there. Maybe you guys know, maybe you've been keeping up on this a bit more than me, but that is the thing that is kind of holding it back. Another thing that was brought up is that apparently these gaming keycard games sold horribly at the launch of the console. Now, a lot of people were saying this is everybody resisting gaming keycards, keep it up, we'll get rid of them. And I don't exactly think that's the case. I think the thing is, most people that picked up a Switch 2 could really only just afford to buy the Switch 2 and Mario Kart and maybe one other game. I don't think there were a ton of people buying excess games at the Switch 2 launch. And most of the games that are using a gaming keycard are just ports of older games that are on other platforms that people may already own. So I think it's a very niche specific thing right now that only a very small group of people were actually going to buy anyway. So when you do kind of compound that in with the people that maybe did boycott gaming key cards because they're just not a fan of it, with the fact that these games just most people probably didn't want to pick them up anyway, I think that kind of just blended together as very, very low sales at the launch. Let's be honest here. If Donkey Kong Bonanza was launching as a gaming keycard game, it would probably still sell just as many copies if it didn't. If Metroid Prime 4 was a gaming keycard game, I don't think it would affect the sales at all. Metroid fans are still going to buy it. Maybe they'd see an uptick in digital sales, but at the end of the day, I don't think it would affect the prices at all. I just think the games that are on a gaming keycard are just generally either not really wanted by the general public, like I said, or uh, it's just games that people don't care enough about to pay full price. So going forward, I don't think it's something that I'll completely avoid. I will buy gaming keycards. In fact, I'm pretty close to buying like the Bravely Default game, but I need to decide for myself if it's worth it when it comes to the slower loading times. But just having that ability to, and it's not so much to just have the physical box sitting on my shelf. If that was the case, I wouldn't buy digital games that go on sale on PSN. I buy a lot of digital games on PlayStation 5 when they go on sale really cheap. It's not just because I have to have that plastic box sitting on my shelf. I think the gaming keycards offer a really great opportunity to just get rid of the games in general, and for that, I got to give them credit. So that's kind of just my brief thoughts on the key cards. Let me know, guys, know what you think in the comments below. Did you buy any gaming keycard games? Which ones did you buy? Did you buy it because you like having that physical ownership and the ability to sell them? Or did you buy it because, hey, you just like to have that box on your shelf? I mean, admit it. I'm sure some of us are very much like that. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. And also, taste don't taste the Switch 2 cart. I tasted my Mario Kart World cartridge, and oh man, the flavor lingered in my mouth for about 20 minutes. It was brutal. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.